So you have to wonder, is it possible that whenever the Mandalorian series ends, whether it's after season 4, season 5, season 15, season 55, that the actual Mandalorian will wind up being this little guy right here, Grogu? I am the Dark Jedi Aries Terrington. Let me go ahead and stimulate your brain waves, baby. You are watching the first episode of Is It Possible? Let's go ahead and dive into all of this right now. All right, and welcome everybody to the first episode of Is It Possible? Right here at Aries Cantina, also known as 6 Scale Cantina. And if you're looking for all the latest juicy rumors and possibilities when it comes to Star Wars everything, you may just want to hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate your support. And why don't you go ahead and smash that like button right now. Again, I do very much appreciate your support. I am the Dark Jedi Aries Terrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars talk. And we are going to start this episode and with a really, really cool notion. What if Grogu, the child, Baby Yoda, from the very onset, has always been and will wind up being the actual Mandalorian? It's really mind stimulating when you really ponder that in your head. Grogu first popped on the scene right with the Mandalorian, episode 1 in season 1. Of course, one would assume Din Djarin, played by Pedro Pascal in the Mandalorian Armor, must obviously be the Mandalorian. But also at episode 1 was the child, Grogu, right here. And from there forward, from episode 1, all the way through the season finale of season 2, and all the way into the book of Boba Fett, and that series finale, which actually ended with the Mandalorian and Grogu, and now with that epic, insane-looking trailer for the Mandalorian Season 3 forthcoming in February 2023, it certainly seems to be focused on Din Djarin and Grogu. So you have to wonder, which one of them is actually the Mandalorian? Now, for all intents and purposes, they could both wind up becoming and being Mandalorians, just like Bo-Katan is a Mandalorian, and Cusker Reeves is a Mandalorian, and the Arbor is a Mandalorian, so on and so forth. But I think it would be a real interesting twist if this little guy right here actually winds up becoming the actual Mandalorian when it's all said and done. So one of the real interesting things about when you really start diving into this concept is not only was Grogu in the very first episode of The Mandalorian, as was Din Djarin, but all of Din Djarin's exploits have mostly been focused around the child, Baby Yoda, Grogu, and even other main characters, or shall I say, epic legacy characters, such as Luke Skywalker. Even his involvement has been predominantly focused on Grogu, not only from The Mandalorian Season 2, but from the Book of Boba Fett. And you could take that even a step further with Ahsoka Tano, played by Rosario Dawson, and even one of her primary focuses has been around Grogu. And when you go ahead and you take a look at now the trailer for The Mandalorian Season 3, how about how good that looks? Wow. There's a lot of Grogu in there. So it does make you wonder, which one of these dudes is actually the Mandalorian? Now, going back to Luke, I find it very, very interesting indeed that Favreau and Filoni chose in the Book of Boba Fett to not show the sequence, the scene, of exactly what Grogu did when Luke said, you have to choose. Do you want Mithril, the Mandalorian armor, or do you want the lightsaber? You can't do it both. And then the very next episode, you see in Luke's X-Wing, flown by R2-D2, that Grogu gets dropped off on Tatooine. So you would automatically assume that he just chose the Mandalorian armor and has no interest at all in that lightsaber. But you do have to think about it. Why didn't Favreau and Filoni actually show that scene? Is it possible because maybe Grogu didn't exactly act or choose the way we thought? And I say, yes. I could actually see this little guy, to be quite frank with you, choosing both of them. Even when he's told, you can't have the eggs, you can't do this, he's like, okay, I can't have the eggs, I'm going to have them anyway. He's kind of a free spirit. Grogu's going to try and get what he wants. So I do think we're going to learn more about that scene in The Mandalorian Season 3. There are heavy, heavy rumors right now circulating that Luke Skywalker, played by Mark Hamill, is going to be in The Mandalorian Season 3 as well. And I think we're going to learn more about him and Grogu's journey and Grogu's past from Order 66 for sure, because that's another flashback that they showed as well, which is something that I think from the Book of Boba Fett, that flashback where he was in the Jedi Temple and the 501st Stormtroopers were coming towards where he was looking, where he was. What's that all about? Favreau and Filoni did not put that scene in there, that flashback in there, for just to put it in. Make no mistake about it, there is a purpose. 1,000% for this. But remember that the first... before I go into that, I'm going to pull this up onto the screen. And really, Din Djarin has demonstrated, thus far anyway, he has zero interest in being the ruler of Mandalore. He was told by Moff Gideon, oh, you're going to have to battle Bo-Katan. I yield. Here, go ahead, take it. Oh, it doesn't work that way. What is it? I yield. I don't care. Even even in the episode before then, when he was with Mayfield in episode 7 of The Mandalorian season 2, even when he was trying to be diplomatic and talking to the Imperial officers with him and Mayfield, played by Bill Burr, when he had his helmet off, he just really is not that type of politician. He's not that type of, okay, I'm going to sit on a throne. Boba Fett with Fennec Shand insinuated at the end of the book of Boba Fett, I don't know if I'm really cut to be like Jabba the Hutt or Bib Fortuna yet. Well, certainly, Din Djarin has given off that vibe. He's not really interested. Could he lead an army? Yes. Could he do that? But he's more of a general type, more of a hunter type. Not going to sit there and rule or have that type of temperament. And under that view, you have to wonder, is it possible that the one that would have that temperament, that the one who may be able to rule Mandalore is this little guy right here on the screen? It's a wonderful little concept of him in Mandalorian Armor. And I think that Favreau and Filoni have written this very, very cleverly and tactfully. And I know that they know, that we know, who this is. And it's very, very interesting that you have the armor basically telling Din Djarin, the foundling is either a Mandalorian or a Jedi. And then on the other side, you have Luke Skywalker saying he's either a Jedi or he's a Mandalorian. But quite honestly, the very first Mandalorian Jedi was Tar Vizsla. And it was rare, but he was accepted as a Mandalorian into the Jedi Order. And is it possible that this is going to come around full circle? And you're actually going to have yet another ruler of Mandalore, not only as a Mandalorian, but as also a Jedi? And I say, yes. It's certainly fun to ponder anyway. And I think that the way that Favreau and Filoni have been writing this, and the armor is so pointed, it's one way or the highway, and Luke is so pointed, it's one way or the highway, and then they don't actually show the scene of exactly what Grogu picks, and pretty much you could kind of get, Pedro Pascal's, Din Djarin's, a vibe of what it is that he would probably want to do. I could actually see him more being by Grogu's side or serving or helping him, set that up over there. And I'm sure that there's lots of questions. Oh, he's too young because he's 50 years old. But remember, Yoda was out and about as a Jedi Knight at age 100. So I don't exactly know if this species here, Yoda species, if you just, he lived to 900, so you got to calculate the way humans, grow up and go through puberty and have growth spurts the same way. Is that alien? It could not be. It could be that once these aliens hit around 50 years old, or so like that they're, they go through an exponential growth. I would think if Yoda is around a Jedi Knight at around 100, that there probably would have to be some considerable growth spurt at this point, unless Grogu is purposefully very, very childlike or subdued as a defense mechanism, which has been another rumor that has been out there. We'll have to go ahead and keep an eye on it. But I think we have to allow Disney, Deborah Chow, John Favreau, and Dave Filoni to work their magic and to see exactly what it is that they're going to do. So you have to wonder, would it blow our minds if at the end of the day it gets revealed that the actual Mandalorian is baby Grogu? And I say yes. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. Go ahead and smash that like button. Thank you so much for watching Is It Possible here at Aries Cantina, also known as 6 Scale Cantina. And don't forget to subscribe to Aries Cantina. I so very much appreciate your support. It is your #1 stop for all Star Wars possibilities. And also, if you're into action figures like Hot Toys, like this little Grogu I showed in the beginning. This is a Hot Toys 1/4 scale action figure here. I've got tons of Hot Toys. You would absolutely spill your coffee over my action figure talk and over my Star Wars talk as well. I spill a lot of coffee. I'm always carrying around coffee. So because I carry it around so much, whether it is the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, that always increases the chances that you could spill it. And I spill a lot of coffee, baby. And I buy a lot of coffee. But right now, we have some wizard juice right here. And I don't always buy wizard juice or coffee out. But when I do, I buy it from Aries Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.